Most barbers struggle with drop fades on straight hair. What's good is HYB, and we about to lock in, and I'm about to show you how you can improve your drop fades with these steps on straight hair. So the first thing that you want to do with any haircut that you're doing will be combing the hair out, getting everything nice and lifted up. And because we're doing a drop fade, we will keep the majority of the C cup, and we will be dropping it in a bag. As far as the name, drop fade, it's not a mid fade, high fade. It's a drop fade, so that means it will drop in the bag. And for this haircut, we're going to be using our Wall Senior 2.0s. This is the Wall Seniors with the click lever system. And right now we're sitting in that first guideline with the lever all the way closed. Using the clipper instead of of any type of trimmer. Most trimmers that you have, they probably will be zero gap. A trimmer is used to set in a sharp line up in the front. But the reason why you would choose your clippers over your trimmers is so that you don't create a harsh guideline. Using our clippers allows us to set in a soft guideline, a soft first a soft first ball guideline, so that we can be able to successfully fade that last line out, or this first line out that we're first setting in. And I work in three sections, y'all. Right now, we're just currently bringing it all the way around the head. You want to make sure both sides are even, or symmetrical, if you want to call them. Just making sure the drop fade is consistent, making sure the fade is consistent. Now we're taking that same clipper and we're closing the lever. We're opening up the lever. We're not closing it, we're opening up the lever all the way. And when you open up the lever, it extends the blade. This allows the clipper to leave more hair upon the scalp. So for our second guideline, we're going up about an inch or a half of an inch, depending on this is my client, so depending on your client's room, how much room they have to fade. Some people you can do a dry fade, but it can be compressed. It can be an extended blend. But right here, we have enough room to work. Our client's hair up top is around a number 4 guard, I would say. So we got our lever all the way open. So the first steps, close our lever. Second steps, lever all the way open, setting that second guideline. And now we're slowly fading down. This is our fading down. We're fading down from the number 2 section, the second guideline. The number 2 section is the second guideline, to the number 1 section, the lever all the way closed. That's what we first set in. And between that process, we have levers. So we have all the way open and we have all the way closed. That's 2 of the 5 notches on this clipper. Most clippers have a 5-notch system, or they don't have, they have a movable lever that's, it's no notches. You can kind of just move the lever in a direction or the width that you will want. But moving the each notch, starting with the lever open and then slowly moving down. And when we move down, going towards the clipper all the way closed, which was that first guideline, because that's what we're working to. So lever all the way open, close the notch, move down just a tad bit below the second guideline, but way above the first guideline. Then we move slowly down and close the notch, and then move slowly down all the way till we get to the lever all the way closed, which was that first guideline that we had set in. And now with straight hair, we mostly don't have to start off with a guard. We kind of get to choose what guard you want to start off with on the side. Right now, I'm choosing a 2 guard. What we're doing right now is every guard that we will have on our client here, the lever will always start off all the way open, and then we will continue to fade down. So this is the number 2 guard. We're following the shape. We're keeping the same shape as the fade. We want the fade to be consistent. We want the fade to be nice when it comes out. So we're doing 2 guard, closing the lever to all the way close while moving down. And then now we're doing the half guard, the 1.5 guard, starting with the lever all the way open. And when we're starting with this lever all the way open with this 1.5, from the same exact spot that we left off, from the lever all the way closed with the number 2 guard. And then we're going to continue the same exact process, moving down within the fade. This is a drop fade technique. I teach this all the time. I mostly do it on different hair textures, but I kind of keep consistently using the same exact fade. As y'all will watch the process, as y'all as you learn and you put the reps in and you keep watching videos, you will get a better drop fade over time. But we're just slowly moving down. Now we're at the one guard level all the way open. And right as you can see the blend is coming in so good already. But as you can see, lever all the way open, and we're beginning with the lever all the way open with this one guard where we left off with the 1.5. And it's going to keep being that same repeated process until we get down to the end. The top, we're more so not going to worry about the top because the top is just bulk. Any any straight haircut, this is why you can cut to any guard's length. I chose a number two guard with the lever all the way open because it leaves the hair up top a little bit more thicker, as I like in my straight hair fades. And now we're using the half guard, or in your case, it might be the zero guard. It depends on which clipper brand that you got will dictate, whether it's a zero guard or a half guard. Mine's is a wall guard. No, this is a Cocoa clipper guard, but I'm using on my wall guard. I love the Cocoa one, a half guard, so that's what I'm doing for this client right here. But we're just slowly moving down, following the same steps that we always use, being consistent with this client. Man, I wish I had the picture or the video that I had when I cut this client years ago. This is the client's second time coming back after 5 years of not coming to me because I switched states. I wound up switching states. Pursuing my barbering career even farther, going to a barber school so I could get my barber license, which I do have. I'm licensed in 2 different states now, but you know, um, when I switched states, he wasn't able to come to me. But as soon as I came back down here, that's when he started down to where I started barbering at. That's when he started coming back to me. Man, I'm trying to tell you, sometimes your haircuts are not what you sing. Sometimes we think we cold, we fire, we all this and all that, and then 3 years down the line, it could be 2 years down the line, a year and a half down the line, we look at our old customer like, man, that was not it. And the crazy part is, I'm sitting here talking to the client. He was like, man, when you first started cutting my hair, like, how long have you been cutting hair how long was you cutting hair when you first started cutting my hair? I was like, man, I was in I was in the first 6 months of cutting hair. And he was like, whoa. He was like, dang, I thought you was cutting hair for years before you actually started my haircut. And I went to tell me like, dang, me, as far as my knowledge, I was not good at all. Nothing compared to what I am right now whatsoever. It just took time and it took a lot of reps. But for him to be pleased with my beginner stages of barbering, my first 6 months into barbering, I guess that told me kind of the skill level and where I was at. Because I started YouTube my first 6 months into barbering. My first 4 months, I started YouTube as soon as I started barbering. I kid y'all not. I was just a very passionate and motivated. I still am, but a very passionate and motivated barber. That's how I know. That's how I know if you got it or not. There's not too many barbers doing YouTube. There's not too many barbers really taking this for real where I'm at. I'm like the only YouTube barber in the whole state of Louisiana from my knowledge. Like, I'm talking about actual YouTube, not short form content. I'm talking about actual YouTubers, vloggers, day in the life type stuff. Like, and that seriously take it for real and not just casually just uploading for real. Like, really putting the work, really putting the grind. But they have a lot of smaller contents as I'm not gonna say content platforms because Instagram, TikTok, they're big content platforms, but I'm talking about like just content creators, not really influencers. I don't know how to feel about Instagram and Facebook and TikTok influencers. I feel like the heart and soul of barbering, besides the fact of like Sly Honcho, and I know they have a new girl, Brow Goat, but other than that, like, Vic Blends and all these other people. They started off on YouTube, and I feel like YouTube is like the real grit and grind of content when it comes to barbering. Like that's the real influences on some stuff. Even though I have a pretty big platform on Facebook, I think I got 26,000 followers, 27,000 followers on Facebook, and I got like 18 point something K on Instagram, almost at 20, and I got a casual 8,000 on 9,000 on TikTok. I don't really take TikTok as far as serious as I should, but we might start doing that later. And now that we've have successfully faded our client's head, um we're just kind of just doing the line prep. I'm not doing the hot towel because sometimes the hot towel kind of like plays with clients' lineups like this. So I did the all natural, alcohol with the cotton swab, wiped every designated area down that we would be lining up. And then I just did the cold air with the holding spray. Sometimes the most simplest stuff is all that you need, but really our temperature, in the shop, I keep the temperature around 68 degrees, man. That matters the most. Um, and I was just taking our trimmers and just setting in these sharp lines and making a fade look together. Man, a drop fade wouldn't be a drop fade without that line or without that C cup. You can decently do a drop fade with no C cup, but it just doesn't look as good. And now we're gonna start right here in the middle. Start in the middle of the lineup. Always start in the middle. That's how I get more precise. I have changed my lineups up. Cause I wasn't doing content for the 4th of July, so I was kind of just locked in trying to see how I can improve, how I can get better. When I'm not making content, when I have a lot of people and I'm not making content, I'm really locked in on the cut, and I'm trying to figure out, I'm thinking inside my head while I'm cutting the client's hair, how can I improve the nights before? How can I improve? I'm looking at certain tools that I use and how can I, make the tools better or use them in a better way so I can improve on lineups, on fades and stuff like that. Because it's real hard to come by information unless you are paying for it for real. Not everybody gonna get a game on YouTube like me, but hey, it just takes time. It takes a lot of repetition, and it just takes a little bit of seeking to find the right people to surround yourself around. But we kind of just working towards, our client did not have a strong side or a weak side. His lineup was fully strong. He does have bangs, so we work towards our right side. Because I am right-handed and I feel more comfortable working towards my right side than starting off on my left, then working to my right. But now we just we're just matching the left side with our right side, and now we have our client lean back. We're doing a razor. He's not doing enhancements. Yo, even on Instagram, I have a lot of people that say, "Oh, you gatekeep the clippers and the trimmers and the blades that you use." I don't gatekeep anything. I'm just at a point in my career, dog, to where like all these commission based and me giving free promotion, people getting all these views from my posts because I know my work ethic, and I know I have a lot of value in my content, and I know how to get a lot of views. I can get a lot of views, especially with short form content, man. That's a breeze. Short form content is a breeze for me. But man, with commission and all that, I'm not about to do free promotion for companies and stuff like that. I'd rather get paid. I'd rather get paid a little bag instead of just relying on commission and all these little sales and stuff like that. So I don't really like doing free promotion. But if people was to ask me, then I'll give them, the direct information. If they was to ask that direct question about these things. Y'all, I apologize real quick. We're using the shares, but I apologize for the volume. I realized I wasn't using my mics for the video. I was literally recording off of my computer volume. But look, man, if you want more in-depth videos like this, man, we do have a members section, and we will be talking about how to gain clientele, how more in-depth videos on tutorials like this, going in-depth, me in person explaining, private live calls and stuff like that. But if you willing to look in that, make sure y'all subscribe to the members, and it's HYB, and we out.
Danny, please don't do anything crazy.